And now, since we've gotten rid of steam and gotten rid of a lot of the pollution, it's going back to the lighter moths again.
Yeah.
So that's what we're witnessing at this moment.
Right. And this has been ongoing since the 1810s, man. Like, we've been witnessing this industrial revolution. But Rob, that mechanism makes sense to you, right? Environmental selection pressures acting on a group of individuals of a species, right? Okay, so now I just want you to imagine that over successive generations, right? As the environment changes and each individual change forces different selection pressures on that group, they start splitting off, right, in different directions. And if we fast forward a couple million years and we look at the two end products, right, the thing that started up here with the one kind of moth and then turned into turned into two kinds of moths. Hold on, let's wait for there we go. And then turned into two kinds of moths. And then we follow this down all the way, millions of years. You would agree that it makes sense that we would find things that are not only very distinct from each other, but noticeably distinct from that ancestor, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, forget about whether the theory is true or not, right? Because we're just describing the mechanism right now. Well, just put that aside for a moment. We're just talking about the mechanism, right? We're just talking about the mechanism. Slowly over time, these changes are going to add up, right? And they're going to create beings that are more perfectly adapted to their environments, right? As those environments change. Sure. You were breaking up there at the end. What did you say? 99% of all species that have ever been on Earth, Rob, have died out.
And it's no longer guessing whether or not it's a fact. We observe it on at this moment in thousands of different places all over the planet where we see natural selection happening. By the way, I found a video. I found a video if you want to.
Why don't you drop that in our private chat and I will put it up here on the screen.
I can share it.
Oh, even better. Thank you. You're so helpful, Peter. Thank you. All right, add stage. Oh, let's see it. Go ahead.
Hold on. I need to because I'm hacking StreamYard actually. So and then things go wonky. Things go wonky for me. But so this is a video where Thailand police form special teams to fight monkey gangs.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
That bad at this moment. So there are subtitles. They not only raid stores, they now attack driving cars, people, literally everything. They're not afraid anymore of anything. It's Planet of the Apes, but in real life. Look,
look at this. Dude, homie's in full battle rattle for the fucking monkeys, man.
And they're not killing them. They're going after them with slingshots so they won't kill them, but just scare them away.
And look, the monkeys know that there's trouble because they move away. They know. They're learning. This is in Thailand.
This is in Thailand.
Preventing monkeys from stealing. That's crazy.
it's only a matter of time before the monkeys figure out that if they get the keys from a motorcycle, the cops won't be able to follow them anymore because they can't get on the bike and chase them. So
Trank guns. Oh my god. I can't imagine that it hasn't, man. That's some serious business. Look at that.
you think these are stupid animals, but they're pretty intelligent.
They're very intelligent. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're coordinated. Look, it's so funny.
I think a lot of tourists are just there to have fun, but you see, they're going through backpacks. And they got gang fights between different gangs. So
this is so wild. No, I've seen videos of like individual monkeys stealing things, never of them being as organized as we can see here.
I work with a primatologist who has worked with both Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson, and specifically for her knowledge on primates.
Am I thinking of the right person? Is this because could it be Gutsick Gibbon?
No, Natalia Reagan.
No way. No way. Look at that, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
that's crazy. Oh yeah, big stuff over there. But Rob, you can understand how the mechanism works, right? Because that's really important. Because I know that there's a lot of misconceptions about how that mechanism works, right? I know there's a lot of talk. I hear people will like, dolphins don't become bears and bears don't become birds, right? And that's not really how any of it works, and that's not how we understand it to work.
The misconception is on the part of the creationists for the most part, because they don't want to get too close to the actual studies, because I think most of them know that there's no way of getting around this. Evolution is a theory, but it's also a fact. It is the most established theory in science.
It's funny that you bring that up, Peter. Rob, do you know what it would take to completely demolish evolution forever? It would take finding a single fossil in the wrong geologic strata.
Yeah.
Just one. And then we would have to go all the way back to the drawing board, man, because if we found something where we weren't expecting to find it, it would be really bad. It mean
if you would.
Yeah, yes. literally, right?
Yes.
And you want to know how many times we found by surprise or by accident fossils in the wrong strata? Not once. Not once.
Rob. That's not entirely true.
In the wrong geologic strata, Peter?
Yes, because
right. Let's hear it.
So there is such a thing as tectonic plates. So at times, layers will be shoved into another layer, and that's where we find out of place fossils. But we're always able to figure out that this is
right. I mean
different layer
things that are like unaccounted for, right? Of course, along geologic fault lines and stuff, and where we see a lot of subsuming.
I did a show with he's on Twitter called Answers in Rocks, and
I like that. Yeah.
Yes, but this guy for a living does radiometric dating, and so radiometric dating is so advanced right now that for some methods, we can get accuracy within days. And they've been able to track this because of the volcano that destroyed
Vesuvius.
Vesuvius. Yeah, that
Vesuvius,
destroyed.
yeah. We carbon-14 dated artifacts and rocks. Well,
Yeah.
not rocks, but artifacts to the exact date
Yes.
on the calendar when Vesuvius erupted. Because carbon-14 dating within this time period, right, which is like what, 50 to 60,000 years?
Yeah, and I'm drawing a blank about the city that
is it Pompeii?
Yeah, Pompeii.
You don't.
Because it's 4:30 a.m.
But Rob,
I've had a very, very busy day.
Carbon-14 dating is that accurate, man, and it's that reliable within that time.
It's not just carbon-14 dating. The other dating methods are getting closer and closer as well.
Yeah, and, like potassium argon dating and uranium lead dating and stuff like that.
Yes, and so the thing that no one could explain is, so different methods overlap each other, and when they do, and they test stuff for dating, they give the exact same date. So two different methods get to the same date, or more different methods. Sometimes.
Comparing the results of potassium argon without needing, because of course these two methods don't require anything from each other, right? So you don't get any cross contamination. You study the same rock with two different rulers, and you get the same result, which is really, really cool, because it means that you don't have to trust the reading of a single machine or the outcome of a single equation, because radiometric dating is a math thing, right? You can math this out. But you can confirm the results independently with lots of different methods.
So, and all of that. So literally every field of science contributes to confirming evolution, whether it's geology, whether it's paleontology, whether it's paleoclimatology,
astrophysics,
all of that, all of that combined supports evolution, and that makes evolution the most robust theory we have at the moment. We wish we would know as much about, let's say, gravity. Or cosmology.
Yeah, there's lots of unanswered questions in science, Rob. There are plenty of things that we don't know, like just flat out. And there's nothing wrong with saying that we don't know. But when it comes to like the diversity of life on Earth, save with abiogenesis, as in the exact moment when it happened and how exactly the first building block was made, everything after that is very well documented.
For that, we have at least 8 working hypotheses on how it could happen, and they could all have happened at the same time.
I was just reading on the metabolism first hypothesis, and I was like, wow, how these proteins could evolve. The idea that evolution can act on things that we might not necessarily call living.
Exactly,
you know, and then of proteins, but because the ability of random mutations exist, things can be selected.
Strings of proteins, not just strings of proteins, because we've had several occasions where by accident they discovered that RNA had formed spontaneously.
Yeah.
And RNA in our body is what creates our DNA.
Yeah. I want to give Rob a chance to talk. Rob, what do you think so far? How are you feeling? Yeah, it was really cool of you. I appreciate that, Rob. Now I want to give you the floor. Yeah, you do. Sure.
Although I don't mind being interrupted. If you have questions, feel free to interrupt. Because there's a lot being said at this moment. So if
it's a very dense subject. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I have to. I have ADHD, dude. I have to finish the point.
What works best for me is shut up, Peter, and then I'll listen. You'll have my attention.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Come on. Yeah, see, come on, come on. But we don't tell anybody to shut up on my channel. It's not nice. We're nice here.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. And I forgot who it was. It was someone who was a lot more famous than I was, and I said the same thing. And during one of our shows, he said, "Shut up, Peter," and the chat blew up. And I had to explain that I had said that they should do that to me, and this wasn't a problem. This was an upon agreed thing that we did before we went live. People in the chat were, well, he thinks he's famous, right? Telling people to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. No. That was done before we went live, so
Yeah,
no one heard
off
that.
camera, off camera. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
which can happen at times. I mean, on Orange Channel, I sometimes have an awful lot of fun jerking Arn around when there's something that has happened before the show. Arn is one of the most respectful and most patient people I've known.
Like I
because
said,
if
Rob,
you,
he's
if,
just been around the block too many times,
yeah,
man.
if you're able to work with me, Rob, then you have a degree in patience.
Yeah. Anyway, Rob, I really do want to give you a chance to respond to all of the stuff that we've been talking about, because we have been talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you the floor, man. I'm sorry. We keep getting sidetracked.
I'm here for the dumpster fire. Can't you see that? I mean, I gave that away when I joined. By the way, that's your fault, Rob, because you wanted to do a 2-on-2. So I had the channel. I made all the artwork, and I'm currently waiting on the guy who wrote the song to get the song for the intro. And that, Rob, is going to blow you away, because that's a beautiful song that you will hate.
Yeah, Peter's pretty good with the graphics.
You're on fire. You're on fire too.
We're all flaming, Rob. We're all flaming.
Well, I can do you one better.
Fire, Rob.
I can do you one better, Rob. Oh, yeah. Turn your camera on.
You can dance in the fire too, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. But for real, Rob, let's hear it. Let's hear what you got to say.
Hey?
Oh, careful comparing yourself to Jesus there, man. Man, I wish I had some burning bush right now.
And just for reference, this was easy. I did this in, I think I spent an hour earlier this evening getting this together. So this is not too hard.
All right, Rob, we want to hear what you have to say, man. We really do.
Gish galloping.
Gish galloping.
Gish galloping. No, it's actually called Gish galloping. It's after a guy called Gish, a young Earth creationist, who during debates would sum up so many facts that his opponent was impossible to react to all of it at the same time, which is a dishonest tactic, but it was named after Dwayne Gish, an evangelical apologist, I think he was.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
I don't gish gallop. I ramble, and I need to be stopped because, yeah.
All right, Rob. We covered the mechanism. Hold on, Peter.
The problem is, Rob, is my history. I had my own radio and TV show here in the Netherlands, so I'm used to listen to my own voice, and if I don't hear my own voice for a while, then I get nervous.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding.
All right,
But
Rob.
I did have my own radio and TV show.
Rob,
Not kidding about that.
we explained to you the mechanism that evolution uses, which is natural selection, right? Environments changing and
One
populations
of
adapting. It's one of them, right?
one of them.
Populations adapting and the adaptations being passed down over successive generations, right? So I want to know what you think so far, because you said that made sense to you. Rob, come on, man. We're here to have a conversation. I thought you were well rested.
Well,
You relaxed
let
all
me
day. What happened?
let me from all of that. Let me ask you a specific question. The thing that Cam came up with the moths, right? The peppered moth. So that is because the environment changes. The bark of the trees gets darker, so the lighter moths are easier to spot by birds, and those are the ones getting picked off. So the black one survives. Does that make sense to you? See?
So
It's
you accept natural selection as a thing that exists, right? Yeah, well, that's how it happens. In more complicated terms, of course, if you get into the literature of it, it can get very, very complicated very fast. But that is the basic gist of it: is environments, selection pressures, evolution over long periods of time, right? But you
I can give
understand
you.
that this hold on, Peter, that this process, right? Yes, we observed it in the peppered moths, but the color of an insect's wings and carapace is a very minor change, right? And yes, we can observe it over a period of time, but it's not really super huge. But you can understand how over long periods of time, millions of years, right, hundreds of thousands of generations, the small things start to add up, right? And it's not really guided, by the way.
No,
So,
it's well,
well, I mean,
it
it
is
is unguided.
kind of
Evolution doesn't have a goal.
it's kind of guided by the environment, but there's
Yeah.
no goal in mind because we're always too late. We're adapting to a change. So
Yeah.
we're
And
already too
only the
late.
members of the population who at that time had whatever mutation happens to be best
Yes.
adapted to the situation get to carry
Yes.
on those genes.
In Italy, there's a famous example. There's a family that developed a gene. Um, and I forgot what it actually. So it makes a chemical that we lack, and that prevents these people from having heart attacks. And because this is beneficial, this is now passed on into that particular city, and more people adapt to that.
It's in the gene pool now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And another great example is American Indians, right, have a genetic difference, right, as part of their ethnicity that makes them more affected by alcohol. That's another really, really great
Yeah.
example. Their people have not been exposed to alcohol for so very long that they did not, over time, like the Europeans did, develop the genetic I don't know what you would call it, but the genetic adaptations to
the capability to
the capability to synthesize or to process alcohol as well.
yeah.
That's another great example of natural selection acting on humans over long periods of time.
One famous example of someone who is from Native American descent does have that is a guy called Onra.
Is that right?
He drinks beer all the time.
Wow.
People ask him what he's drinking during every show, and then he has to show what kind of beer he's drinking.
Uh-oh. It seems Rob is momentarily out of commission.
No, I think he just turned off the camera. Oh no, he's muted as well. Yeah,
Is
you
everything
can
okay,
see
Rob?
he's
Are we
he's
okay?
tired.
Is it a little too late for you, man? I'm sorry. I was out.
Uh, I just
man,
put
if
up
you
your
need to head
picture,
out,
so now you look chirpy again.
Hey Rob, if you need to head out, it's no big deal, man. I'm not going to feel cross with you about it.
Oh,
I can hang out with Peter for a little bit, and then we can turn the camera off.
before I forget, happy birthday, Rob. You're 43?
Wow.
2 weeks,
That's
and then
almost
2 weeks, and then I'll be 62.
Jeez, man. Am I really the youngest in the room?
Yep,
It's crazy.
apparently so.
Yeah. 24. Scientifically. It's scientifically demonstrable. It's a scientific fact, Rob. How's it feel to have gone in circles around the sun twice as many times as I have? How's it feel? Yeah, like I said, you're like 20 years my senior, man. How's that feel?
And I'm almost 20 years Rob senior.
His senior, yeah. Look at that. We've got a nice intergenerational conversation.
Yeah. On my screen, the room between the pictures, that's a generation gap.
Wow.
You see the younger generation is now upcoming. It's just evolving out of the dumpster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, actually. I mean, my grandfather died at 75, and that was like 10 years ago. But yeah, in another world, man, in another life.
Yeah.
You've definitely got the age for it. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Peter. You're aging like fine wine.
So I'm not bothered by age. At times I wish I was younger because
Yeah.
I do see the effects of old age slowly creeping in, but it depends. It depends, Rob. I've worked with kids a lot, so get a couple of 5 and 6 year olds and let's go to a playground, and I'll evolve back into a 5-year-old, and I'll be the worst one of the bunch. Promise.
It's evolving, just backwards.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I